Hey, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel, The Beast On. I am Beast, Brian London, but you probably already knew that. If you didn't, well, hi, how are you? Couple things. One, before we get to the topic du jour, topic of the day, if you will, I want you to do me a couple favors. One, subscribe to the channel. That would be great. Two, down there is a little thumb. If you hit that up, even if you hate every bone in my body, if you hit that up, it tells Google, hey, this is a video that other people might want to see, right? And then hit the little bell down there if you want to get more videos from where this one comes from. And last but not least, share the video. If you see it on Twitter or Facebook, just share it. Don't heart it. I don't need your hearts. I don't need your likes. I need your shares. Share the hell out of it. All right, here we go. Today, at recording of this video is Wednesday, February 17th, and just a little while ago, the world found out that talk show radio host Rush Limbaugh has passed away at the age of 70 after suffering from lung cancer. And I'm mixed on this one because politically, and I think every other of my body completely disagreed with Rush. I disagreed with his delivery, his brash delivery. I disagreed with a lot of the nonsense that was not backed up by fact that he threw out there every day. I disagreed with him being a mouthpiece for certain people. Just disagreed overall with his content. And also through, I've been to a couple different radio conferences and have had the fortune over the years to talk to some very high-level radio people. From what I've heard, now listen, everyone hears a different story. I don't believe he was quite the nicest person in his 70 years on Earth. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Everyone has a different story to tell about people in any industry. But I would be remiss if I didn't, on the flip side, let you know that, talk radio as a genre, as a profession, and no matter the subgenre of talk radio, right? We have political talk, we have news talk, we have sports talk, all of the talk, entertainment talk, talky. That would not exist really as large as it did, and I say did because it's dying quickly, without the growth and popularity of Rush Limbaugh. Certainly he wasn't the first conservative talk show host, but what he did was took the medium as a whole and grew it to a ridiculous level that, and I apologize, I have allergies and my eyes are kicking up. But he grew it to such a ridiculous level that companies wanted to invest in the talk radio format, which helped everyone that was in that industry, no matter if they were conservative, liberal, sports, news, entertainment, whatever it was. Without Rush Limbaugh, the industry would not have grown as big as it did. And I have a couple anecdotes on the Rush Limbaugh situation, or just one, two. When I was in high school, up in Massachusetts, shout out to the Pingree School in South Hamilton, the Highlanders, although when I was at school at Pingree, we didn't even have a mascot. We didn't have names for our teams. We were just the Pingree School. And then the year after I graduated in 1994, they came up with the Highlanders. And shout out to the Pingree School because it shaped me. And I think a lot of what I became in life is because of my amazing time at the Pingree School. But at the Pingree School, I took my last summer as so my junior year, right? My summer of my junior year in high school. which wasn't well, I guess, your last summer is technically after your senior year. But by that point, you've graduated, so is it really your last summer? I don't know. We're playing semantics. The summer of my junior year at Pingree, I spent in Washington, D.C. at a college-level intensive program on political journalism. I knew by that point that whatever I did as far as a major in college or a profession was going to have something around politics or journalism. I had already pretty much decided on that. And though I wanted to be a rock band drummer, I was pretty much forbidden from doing that as a career, even though I was really, really good as a drummer back in the heyday, back in my day when I had hair. So I go to the American University in Washington, and it's like a 2-month program where you live in the dorms. You're a college student for 2 months in the summer, and you're taking these courses, intensive courses in journalism and politics, and you're getting behind the scenes. Like, all of our professors worked in government. You're getting behind the scenes in the Pentagon. You're getting behind the scenes at the Capitol building. I've been to parts of the Capitol building that you probably haven't, which what I saw on January 6th made me even more freaked out, because a lot of the secret places and all that stuff that they've talked about where the insurrectionists got to, I was able to kind of be around there. And the White House and the Treasury, everywhere. I was all over DC in every building for a good 2 months. Now let me try to get back to the story. So it was a cross section of society that was in this program. There was those of us that were liberal, there was conservative, there was just plain news people, there was all sorts and sizes. And I don't remember his real name, but in our group, so like in this program, you were kind of divided up into pods. And like our pod probably had like 20 kids in it. And we did everything together. Because we're like high school kids on this college campus. And so we're there for 2 months, and we did everything together. We went out to eat together. We went to, even though we weren't supposed to bars together. We did everything together. Did our homework in groups together. Everything we did together. And there was this one kid that was kind of like this little tiny dude. I'm sure he grew up to be like 6'8", because that's my life. With like he had like a voice like this. He was like, always talking like this. He was from somewhere down south, but he had like a real high pitched like southern voice like this. And he was like ultra conservative. He was like hardcore, and we ended up giving him the nickname Rush, because that's what he wanted to be, the next Rush. I don't think that ever happened. I think I would have recognized him. So that's one Rush story because I can't forget that summer without thinking about Rush, this little like dude. And then I get to the University of Miami in the fall of 1994, and I'm a member of the Band of the Hour, the marching band at the University of Miami, because that was the one way that I can continue my music without being a music major, so to speak. So I joined the Band of the Hour. I didn't know anything about marching band, because my private school, the Pingree School, did not have a marching band. So I got my duty in the band I was in the pit. If you don't know what the pit normally is a group of musicians in front of the field where everyone else is marching. And, you got your xylophone players, your marimba players, your glockenspiel, you got your bells, like all the other stuff, all those instruments. But what also you have in the pit is drum set. So even though you have the drum line behind you, snares, quads, bass drums, cymbals, even though you have the drum line behind you, you always had a drum set in the pit. And that was my job. I played drum set for the University of Miami Band of the Hour. And other things, Latin percussion, like we did a Santana show and I was like jamming on the timbales. I played congas, all that stuff. A bunch of percussive instruments. And So I remember, one of the first weeks of band, our band director was this real Southern guy named Michael Mann, very conservative, not very open in his thought process at all. Wasn't very happy when I told him that I couldn't perform on Yom Kippur. I had to get involved in the university administration with that situation, but we won't go back there. Michael Mann knew that I was a political science major and a broadcasting major, so for the next 3 years, he called me Rush Limbaugh. I mean, he also called me Beast and Brian, but he would every once in a while call me Rush Limbaugh because he knew how much I didn't like it that he called me Rush Limbaugh, but he loved Rush Limbaugh, like posters of Rush in his office situation. So those are my Rush stories, which probably did nothing for you. But what I really wanted to do is, listen, when someone passes away, you can choose to forget the evil, which I'm not going to do. I really just... I know he was popular, and I know if you're conservative, you want to throw something at me, and I get that. But I just didn't agree with what he did and some of the tactics he used to do it. That's not to say, in my past, when I used to listen to talk radio, I used to listen to some conservative talk hosts just because of the medium, because of how great they were at doing their job. And I was able to kind of just deal with the content and be like, okay, yeah, I disagree with you, but you're doing a really great job on delivering your content. I couldn't do it with Rush. I just couldn't. Even though when I started as an intern at WQAM here in Miami, the sports radio station, they actually had Rush Limbaugh on in the afternoons or the middays or whatever it was. I forget whatever time it was. They'd go sports, Rush, back to sports. So every once in a while when I'd be interning, I would catch some Rush, but it wasn't something I liked. But I'd be remiss if I didn't at least honor what he gave to the industry of radio, how he helped grow the industry of radio and his impact to the industry of radio. I mean, I think it's fair for me to say I'm not a fan, but also realize that he had contributions. Do I think he deserved the Presidential Medal of Freedom? No, but I'm sure he won plenty of Marconi Awards, which were deserved because of the impact he did have in radio. All right, that'll do it for me. I've just yammered on too much. Hey, look forward to... I actually did a major interview on a major podcast that will be released this weekend sometime, and I'll let you guys know about it on my feed at Miami Radio Beast. But yeah, I was lucky enough to be asked to be on a major podcast and do a major interview. So that'll be on there, and look forward to that because I tell some really funny radio stories, some really funny stuff. And I think it went over really well. So look forward to that. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for indulging me. Remember, subscribe. Remember to hit the like button down there, the little thumb, and share this with everyone you know. Thanks. Peace. I'll see you when I see you.